Have you ever stopped to wonder how your company keeps its work data safe on your personal phone or your work laptop when you're at a coffee shop? Well, today we're pulling back the curtain on Microsoft Intune, the incredibly powerful tool that's working behind the scenes to bring some serious order to the chaos of our modern work lives.
All right, so here's our game plan. First, we're going to look at the huge challenge that the modern workplace presents. Then, we'll introduce Intune and dive into what it really does, managing devices, securing our apps, and acting as a kind of digital bouncer. And finally, we'll tie it all together to see what this all means for the future of how we get work done.
So let's start with the problem itself, because honestly, it's a challenge that affects pretty much every single one of us, whether we realize it or not.
Now, this question, it seems so simple, right? But it gets to the very heart of a massive modern dilemma. How can a company protect its sensitive information when it lives on devices you own, without crossing a line and invading your personal space? It's a constant balancing act.
And this right here, this is the new normal. The days of everyone having the same company PC, sitting inside the same office network, they're just gone. Now it's this wild mix of personal phones, work laptops, maybe a tablet, running on Windows, iOS, Android, you name it. And people are connecting from everywhere. For any IT department, this is a huge, huge puzzle to solve. So how do you even begin to manage that puzzle? You need a control center, but not one stuck in a server room in the basement. You need one that's as flexible as the workforce itself. And that's where Microsoft Intune comes in.
Okay, the absolute key phrase here is cloud-based service. This is so important. Intune isn't just a piece of software you install, it lives in the cloud. And that is its superpower. It gives it the power to reach out and manage any device, anywhere in the world, as long as it has an internet connection.
This slide just nails the evolution. On the left, you've got the old way. Kind of feels like the dark ages, right? Everything was on site, only worked for PCs, and only inside the office. But on the right, you see the Intune way. It's cloud-based, works with any device, and manages them securely from anywhere. It's built for how we actually work today.
When you boil it all down, Intune is really doing three main jobs. It's about managing the physical device itself, it's about protecting the apps and the data on that device, and it's about controlling who gets access to what. And we're going to break down each one of these. So let's start with that first piece of the pie, managing the actual devices. How in the world does Intune know the difference between a laptop your company owns and the personal phone you use to check work email? You know, for a device owned by the company, the whole experience is kind of magical. An employee can get a brand new laptop, take it out of the box, sign in with their work email, and that's it. Behind the scenes, Intune just takes over, enrolling the device and pushing down all the right apps and security settings automatically. No help desk ticket needed. And this is the really clever part. Intune treats these two situations completely differently. A company laptop is joined to the organization, which gives IT full control. But your personal phone, when you bring your own device, it's just registered. Think of it like Intune creating a separate, secure little work bubble on your phone. It can only see and manage what's inside that bubble, leaving all your personal photos, your texts, your apps completely private and untouched. Okay, so the device is managed. That's the container. But the real prize, the thing attackers are actually after, is that sensitive company data living inside your apps. So let's see how Intune protects that. I absolutely love this quote because it just gets to the heart of it. The goal isn't just to push an app like Outlook onto your phone. The real challenge, the real magic, is making sure that the sensitive info inside Outlook can't leak out and end up somewhere it shouldn't, like a personal notes app. And this is exactly how that secure bubble works. These app protection policies are like a digital force field. For example, they can literally block you from copying sensitive text from a work email and pasting it into your personal Twitter app. They can make you use a separate PIN just to open work apps. And here's the best part. If a device is lost or stolen, IT can remotely wipe only the corporate data, leaving all of your personal stuff completely safe. All right, so we've managed the device, and we've secured the apps. Now for the final piece of the puzzle, intelligently deciding who gets in and when. And the best way to think about this is like a really, really smart bouncer at the door of your company's digital nightclub. This is the one critical question that Intune, along with a feature called Conditional Access, has to answer every single time you try to log in. And trust me, the answer isn't just about whether you typed your password correctly anymore. So that digital bouncer has a checklist, and it's running through it in milliseconds. It's asking, okay, is this device compliant with our security rules? Is the user logging in from a place we trust? Are they using an app that we've approved? And is the device free of any known risks like malware?
If everything gets a green checkmark, boom, you're in. You probably won't even notice anything happened. But if even one of those things raises a red flag, maybe you're on a rusty Wi-Fi network or your phone is missing a security update, you're either getting blocked completely or you're going to be asked for an extra proof of identity, like a code on your phone. It's this intelligent, real-time decision-making that's the real game changer here.
So let's zoom out for a second. We've talked about devices and apps and access. What does it all add up to? What is the real benefit of having a whole system like this in place?
At the end of the day, this is the ultimate payoff. It's all about solving that core tension we started with, the one between freedom and security. Your company's IT team gets one single place to manage everything. And employees, well, we get the flexibility to work how we want, where we want, and know that we're doing it securely. It's the framework that makes this whole modern hybrid work model actually possible.
And that brings us to this final critical question that really goes way beyond just the technology. Tools like Intune give us the technical framework, but the real ongoing challenge for every single company is a human one, finding that perfect, delicate balance between keeping things secure and respecting employee privacy. And that's a conversation that's only going to get more important as our technology continues to evolve.